The corporate prospecting blueprint is my framework that I've used to get corporate clients over the last 7, 8 years. By corporate clients, let's define what that means. These are companies that are doing like over $5 million a year, particularly specifically over 10. It doesn't matter if they're in America or based somewhere else, they are doing 10 million plus a year. They could be across industries, but that's what we're defining as corporate. So we're going after not necessarily your Pepsi's, but we're going after your PepsiCo, which is like a $30 million a year company. That's the kind of companies that we're looking for. Companies that you would see at places like CES or the Retailers Federation. The ultimate outcome of this workshop is to give people a blueprint of what is possible and things they can do either during or right after the workshop. I believe in that you implement. I tell you something, go do it, because I want you to be like, in a few weeks, hey, listen, I got a meeting. My goal is to have you tell me that someone responded to me. They want to meet with me. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. So that's what we're going to give you in this workshop. This is for all our fellow copywriters in what I like to call internet marketing land. If you're used to working with coaches and consultants who primarily do all their business online, and you got to deal with the changes on what they feel like and what guru told them to do something, or you don't want to work with the quote unquote bro marketers. This is for people who are looking for more substantial income than praying that, okay, they're going to pay me my $1,500 this week for actually doing your services. This is if you're looking for a little more consistency during your year as a copywriter. My name is Lauren Hazel. I've been in the space of working with corporate companies for over 7 to 8 years. Why should you even listen to me? Because I'm just a random person on the internet. I've been able to secure deals with Pepsi, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, writing copy, writing commercials, also with financial companies like Prudential Financial, a global insurance company. I've written direct mail for them. I've done phone scripts for them. So I'm going to give you the framework of how I got those relationships, how I price those relationships, and how you can do it too. I'm just a person on the internet who knows how to get into those big companies and get them to pay me a lot of money for doing something that normally most of you do anyway really well for people you're struggling to get $2,000 from. In terms of working with corporate clients, so these are some of the benefits. One, you don't need that many. Now, if you're looking to build a $100 million a year agency, then of course you need a whole bunch of them. But if you as a freelancer, you're just trying to, what we say, cover your nut, cover all your expenses and have a level of comfort, then having maybe just 5 corporate companies a year as clients is pretty much more than what you need because of the amount of money you can charge them. Now, what's the difference in money than maybe some of the internet marketers, coaches, and consultants you're working with? One, they have a budget they must spend. So, for example, there's a finance company that I do some work with twice a year. I do some email campaigns for them. They have a marketing budget of $25 million a year that they almost never completely spend. So they're looking for ways to spend this money because at the end of the year, they have to justify why this budget is the way it is. They have to justify, did we meet our growth metrics? If they didn't meet their growth metrics, but they still have $10 million in marketing budget, someone usually is getting fired. So they want to make sure they're spending their marketing budget. And that's the big difference between a lot of course creators and other folks where they haven't gotten to the point where they're like, you know what, every year I should have a $2 or $3 million marketing budget. But when you're working with these corporate companies, yes, they can spend $100,000 with you without going through 5 approvals. But that's not too bad because they make so much money and they have to spend this money. They have to justify why they are requesting the money for the year. And so we come in not only to help, but help people spend that money that they have to spend anyway for tax purposes and everything. So we're assisting them in their tax protection. Some of the misconceptions people have with working with corporate clients is that there's a long sales cycle. Now that can be true depending on the size and how old the company is. For example, an IBM multi-billion-dollar company, I'm going to suggest jumping in that pond real quick because their sales cycle for things they might need might be 18 months, and that's just what it is. But for 18 months, you're charging $50, $60, $100,000 per month on a 2-year contract. So you can justify why that sales cycle is long. But for most of these companies, their sales cycle actually isn't that long. Within a couple of months or less, you can close a lot of even first-time contracts. So let's say the first deal you do is $5,000 to $10,000, and then maybe it's a landing page refresh, right? I've gotten that within 2 phone calls to get paid to redo a landing page for $5K. You can stack those up very quickly and close them in less than 2 weeks. For most of them, you can get a 5 to 10, 20,000 one-time job within 2-3 weeks or less. Well, back in the land of early chatbots, before AI and all this stuff that we have now, people were paid to write chatbot scripts. I got in and was writing chatbot scripts for a bunch of companies, and it was just easy money, like 3,000, 5, 6, 7. I think the most expensive one I ever charged for might have been 10 for 2 different chatbots on 2 different pages. And that was an easy, like a week close, come in, hey, can you write it? Because I actually was a trained copywriter. Most companies during that time didn't know who to hire. So they were hiring comedians to write scripts for the chatbots at that point. But since I was a copywriter, hey, no, you need to write it like that. Once they found that out, I started getting passed around. So I was closing chatbot scripts for $3K within a meeting. These companies don't have a full staff copywriter. The marketing manager or director might know what a copywriter is, but most of them don't. If I'm a tech company and I'm used to building computers or chips, I don't know what a copywriter is. Most of those companies will outsource all of their marketing. with the exception of maybe some internal things like a newsletter. They don't have a copywriter and have never hired one. So in terms of AI, they don't know what to replace because they don't have the skill set to replace it in the first place. Now, is there a lot of AI in different industries? Yes. For instance, legal is adopting a lot of AI, but they don't know how to use it properly. So they have the AI in there. They don't know what to tell it to do. It's not giving them the outputs that they need, and they can't understand why. And there was actually a lot of discussions last few weeks ago at other AI conferences about the amount of corporate companies that bought all these AI tools, got rid of people, and then realized, oh snap, it doesn't work because they don't have the people to actually teach the AI to do the job. So even with AI being there, it hasn't been a big danger, if anything else, because at least if you're in Rebel's community and other people's community who actually teach you as a copywriter how to use AI to your advantage, oh, they love you because you can come in, you can do the work, and you can help them consult in what they need to build to use the AI that they paid millions of dollars to have integrated in their company. So it's not something to be afraid of. If you know a little bit of something of how to give the output, you are extremely valuable to companies where they don't know how to use it yet. So for us, I think we're way ahead from my experience of being in it right now. The difference between, for those of you who are going to Upwork and Fiverr to finding clients versus kind of do it my way, which is a bit more strategic and direct, is the way you can actually start with pricing. Oftentimes when these companies are looking on Upwork and Fiverr, they may not necessarily know what they're looking for, which is a problem. You don't get a chance to really investigate and do your discovery the way you need to actually figure out, okay, how much I really should be charging. And unfortunately, which should not be the case, they're looking to lowball your services in the first place. So what tends to happen with folks who get their clients from Upwork and Fiverr is that it's a long stacking relationship to get to the pricing they should have been charging in the beginning. The way I'm going to show folks how to do this in this workshop, I'm going to help you get those prices up front. So for, let's say there's a company and they need some copywriting and you figure out through your discovery, oh, you guys actually need a newsletter. And this is how I would structure this newsletter and everything else. You can charge $10,000 to $15,000 a month for a newsletter and lock in that contract for a year. Versus if it's the marketing manager looking for a copywriter, maybe to write a couple issues of a newsletter, they're going to try to price you at maybe $200 to $300 to write 5 issues. And so the difference is you will be able to command the prices you should be commanding for what you're providing as a copywriter. It's not just writing. You're the strategist behind it. You're pointing out what's wrong and the things they need help. You don't always get that chance to do that at Fiverr or at Upwork in the beginning. And it's usually a longer path to get to the same amount of money that we charge up front. Now, is there a lot of competition for copywriters jumping into space and using the strategy we're going over in this workshop? The answer is absolutely not. It's something about being creative in writing that people don't value what they do. And so everyone's, can you please take me? Can you please take me? I'll do it for $2. And I've worked with copywriters from some of the largest agencies in New York City in the world. And it's the same mentality. Dude, we just brought them like $100 million of business. Like, why are we nickel and diamond? They want to pay us $20 for an article. This is ridiculous. Unfortunately for us copywriters, that has been our Achilles heel. A lot of copywriters are introverted or scared, and they don't think they're worthy enough to approach these companies. They think everybody at these companies are smarter than them or better than them. That's number one. Number two, they're not sure how much they can actually charge because they don't understand the value that they're actually bringing. So it's not a lot of copywriters going direct to these companies. A lot of them, they try to get full-time jobs at some of these companies or usually at the marketing agencies. Not a lot of them actually say, hey, I'm going to be the freelancer, I'm going to be the agency owner, and I'm going to own my destiny. I know what I provide to the market is relevant and useful. I'm going to say, hey, I can help you with that, and this is what you need to do. Let's talk. So now that we've gone over some misconceptions about copywriters getting corporate clients, I just want to go over what you're going to get in Corporate Prospecting Blueprint. This is a 4-day workshop where we're going to break down the exact path I have used and that is going to be repeatable for you to get your corporate clients. So first, on day 1, we're going to start with the mindset. In order to do this, we have to have our mind right because, like I said, a lot of copywriters do not get these clients or even dare to go after these clients. It's because they don't believe they're worthy enough. And they don't understand what the corporate landscape looks like. So we're going to go over the things to say, how to handle some of the language that is said, particularly in the American corporate landscape. On day 2, we're going to talk about positioning and communication confidence. This is going to be really important, especially for those of you who may not be Americans or English is your second language. We're going to go over things, instead of thinking of yourself as a freelancer, you're going to be the consultant model, you're going to be that problem solver. And so we're going to go over what that shift looks like, how to dress up your profile, how to speak that way in order to be like, okay, this person who's emailing me out of the blue, they're serious. So we're also going to talk about accents. I know some of you are very self-conscious about your accent, but we're going to go over how that's actually going to be your advantage. Like I speak 1 language fluently. Some of you speak 2 or 3 languages fluently. And I'm going to tell you how you probably have a bigger advantage over me and how to use that when you are going after these corporate On day 3, we're going to talk about finding and contacting the lead. This is my favorite part to teach because I'm going to open up the world of the people you can actually go after. Some of you might find that the company whose stuff you have in your kitchen is going to be your next prospect. So we're going to go over how to use LinkedIn. We're going to go over how to use trade show exhibitor list. And we're going to be looking at tools like Perplexity or Apollo that look for direct contact info like their emails to actually do the outreach. During this day, we also will go over cold messaging on emails that sound human and how you don't have to be too much corporate speak in order to actually get someone's attention to say, oh yeah, let's book a meeting, or you know what, you need to talk to Bob on this department, but tag me into that so that I know you got it. So that's what we're going to go over on that day. And I know you guys are going to love it because we're going to have a whole lot of fun. And on day 4, we're going to talk about outreach systems and our plan of action, because the whole point of this is that not you just hear me talk, but you actually go out there, put the messages out, and start getting your meetings booked up. So we're going to go over my 3-step outreach framework for you. Everything's going to be very detailed. I'm going to show you how I have been doing it and what's been successful to me. We're also going to go over the 7-day corporate jumpstart plan. What that's about is going to give you a framework of how many messages you can send out a day, how many cold emails, how many connection requests if you're going to be using LinkedIn, as well as we're going to talk about consistency and tracking our habits. Unfortunately for me, I'm one of those who likes to procrastinate. These are the things I put in place to keep me on track. And I'm going to give you that framework so you can keep yourself on track, especially during those times where it seems like no one's responding to you and you get a bit discouraged. I'm going to give you some of my frameworks of what I use to this day to keep me on track, making sure I'm continuing my outreach, making sure that I am following up so that you can do it too after this workshop, so that you can start booking up your calendar. And then we got our little bonuses. See on day 5, I know everyone's going to have questions. Some of you are going to jump right into it. And so we're going to leave it open on day 5 for you to ask me questions. Hey, is there a new tool out there? You can ask me questions. Hey, I picked this niche. I'm looking at these companies, what I think. So that is your time to ask me whatever you're going to need to based on what we've taught over the last 4 days. I'll even correct anything that you have written down before you send it out if you are not confident. That is going to be your day to ask me all the questions. I will be your open book because I want to see you successful. I want to see you message me talking about you got those meetings. So that's going to be your day to ask me and grill me on anything I said, give you some more accountability so that you can go the next 30 days and book you your next corporate client. So we have our 4-day workshop, we have our 5th day bonus, but I have another bonus for you. This is going to be a mini workshop replay. You're going to get access to what we call the Ghost event. This is about a 45-minute long training, and it's going to show you how to connect with companies that are attending big industry events like CES and South by Southwest. These are places where you can get clients. It's very expensive to go to these events, but I'm going to show you a sneaky way of booking meetings with people who are going without you having to buy a ticket, plane travel, or even being a part of that industry. So I'm going to give you that recording, and it's going to help you, for those of you, especially if you do not live in the United States and you cannot easily get to some of these places, or you want to deal with more American clients or more European clients. So that's going to be a bonus gift if you get the workshop. And I know you're going to love it. I have used this many a time where I could not travel. I cannot travel to these places. For example, CES, you need about $5,000 to $7,000 to go. And I live in the United States. So I can imagine what it would be for those of you who may not be here. But I'm going to show you a sneaky way that I have been booking people from CES and other conferences without you having to spend a dime on their tickets or hotels. CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. It is probably the largest one on the planet. They basically take over Las Vegas, and there are over 100,000 people who go every year. So from tech to health to finance, to marketing, large marketing companies, everybody converges in a big international show. So there's usually over 125 countries that are represented there. So everyone from your Fortune 500, even to funded startups, will be at CES. It is one of the best places I've found to prospect anything you want. If you want to go into tech, there's tech companies. If you want to go into finance, all the major finance companies in the world will be there, as well as their smaller competitors. You love insurance, they're all there. So I'm going to take you with me through prospecting to CES. So any vertical you want to go into, CES has got it. And I'm going to show you how to book meetings with the people who are going to be there without you having to be there. So now that we covered that, we do have some extras. If you want to add these will be order bumps. This is a little something that will help you turn around and start doing the work to actually get these people on your calendar to have these calls so you can book your next client. And that is going to be what I call the LinkedIn Authority bonus, which is going to be some prompts that I'm going to give you that you can put to ChatGPT or Claude, which one you want. And what this is going to do is go over the 4 trust lenses. So it's going to be able to help you come up with content to post on LinkedIn. Because you're going after corporate companies, they are going to look at your LinkedIn profile just to make sure you're a real person. So I'm going to give you some content that you are not going to spend 2 weeks doing. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it and give you the prompt so you can turn around and have as much content as you need. All you need to do is just a little editing and then pasting on LinkedIn. Because remember, we need to show that we are real people and not just a Nigerian prince scam. So that is going to be something. If you want, you can have it right there in the order. I also have what I call my discovery call script. Now, here's the thing about us copywriters. Everyone teaches us copy, but very few people actually teach us how to properly do a sales call. And it's imperative that you learn how to do a proper discovery call if you are going to, one, prove you know what you're talking about, and two, be able to figure out how you're going to price things. Since that might be a problem for some of you, I am going to add my discovery call script. It's going to give you the questions, show you how I outline my calls so you can get comfortable and add a little bit of personality, but still keep it professional, as well as 10 qualifying questions that is going to help you, one, impress the marketing director, CMO, or VP of sales when you're on these calls. Because if you can impress them by the questions you're asking them, then you're more likely to get that contract approved. So that is an optional add-on to the workshop if you want to. One thing I love about this is that it's going to help you get over some of your anxiety. This is going to be scary for a lot of you, and I don't want you feeling that you're going to fumble everything up. I'm going to tell you how you need to frame it and the questions that you're going to need to ask to make you look impressive, but also lower your anxiety, because you're going to be saying the same questions over and over again to different companies and different people. So that is going to be an optional bump if you want to. Then another choice you will have is what I call the corporate brand site system. Some of you are like, hey, I don't have a website, I don't have anything, I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm going to give you the outline of exactly what you're going to need on there. You don't need a lot, but you do need a little bit. Once again, they're going to check if you're real. So we just need to prove that you're real. It doesn't have to be a fancy thing. And I'm going to show you an example of sites that I put together so you'll know exactly what it needs to look like. You'll get some tools that you can use and choose what you want to do and exactly what needs to be on there so that you can have that site up probably within 2 to 3 hours. So that's optional if you want to add that. And for those of you who want a little extra help, a little extra hand holding, I have a VIP package that is to die for. If you want to see me work and close clients, this is going to be for you. So in this VIP package, I'm going to take you under my wing. You're going to get personal coaching from me. When you get this VIP package, you will have 2 one-on-ones to me. So that's me and you privately going over your situation, the path you need to take, and the steps you're going to take. But it's more than that, because those who get the VIP section, we're going to have group calls, and I'm going to take you with me all the way through the end of January, where we are going to CES. So you'll get to see me prospect. I'll help you prospect. You will have access to any tools that I have access to. For instance, Sales Navigator. Yes, I will let you use my Sales Navigator to find the people you should be reaching out to. I will walk you every day that I am prospecting. We will also have our own WhatsApp group, because I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to ask, hey, did you send that email? Did you have that meeting? How'd it go? Where'd you get stuck? I will walk you through all the ways until you get your discovery calls so that you can put what I've taught you into action. So I'm going to take you with me from now all the way through the end of CES. And so in this VIP package, there is really no way, unless you don't do the work, unless you ghost me, that you shouldn't have a pipeline of people who are looking forward to either meeting with you to go over their situation, or maybe even 1 or 2 closed clients. Now that we have that wrapped up, if you are a copywriter and you are tired of the daily grind of working with inconsistent internet marketers, coaches, and consultants, and you too want to have a couple of corporate clients that possibly can finance your entire year without you having to turn around and be in people's DMs all day, then this workshop is going to show you exactly how I've been doing it for the last 7-8 years, and how you can do it too, how you can get your own corporate clients and not have to always be beholden to the internet marketers telling you that, hey, I only want to pay $1.50 for copy, but yet I want $20,000 worth of services. This is for you if you are a copywriter who lives outside the United States and you want to change your life by having just a couple of clients a year without having people make fun of your accent, without feeling that you're less than because you're not born here. Maybe English is not your native language. This workshop is designed for you, because I want to help you turn around and see all the opportunity out there, not just see it, but actually get your first, second, third corporate client. If you are a copywriter who is tired of the daily grind and feeling like you're going to get replaced, and you want to be where your clients are going to appreciate you and be more than happy to pay you the big bucks for long-term contracts, then this is for you. If you're that copywriter who lives in the global South, I'm going to show you how you can turn around and get these American companies and get these large international companies that are more than willing to pay you at the same rate they pay Americans like me. So if this sounds like you, where you want 2 to 3 of these clients a year, or if you want to be appreciated for your skills and knowledge, then you need to sign up for the Corporate Prospecting Blueprint.